Having been all at sea in the first of my travelogues and in the dry hills of La Campagna in the second, I am now taking you up into the foothills of the Andes. The River Yeso is a tributary of the Maipo, the Maipo being the main river that runs through the central region around Santiago. In 1964, the Yeso was dammed to create a reservoir to supply water to Chile's capital and its environs, and that is where we were heading. The 4-hour journey took us through the Santiago suburbs before we began to follow the Yeso Valley, gentle at this stage, through villages with many signs for Condor Cafe. As we drove, we kept our eyes peeled for torrent ducks that live on fast-flowing rivers such as this, but without success. Torrent ducks have evolved so they're able to swim and dive in the most challenging white water. Our Chilean guide, Enrique, had brought a large, of course, packed lunch as we were to be out in the wilds all day. What he had forgotten to pack, however, were plates and cutlery. We stopped at village shops along the way, but they didn't sell such things, and so in the end, and amazingly, we stopped at an apparently random house where he borrowed them. After lunch, he washed the plates, knives and forks in a mountain stream and returned them on the way back. Remarkable. As we started to climb, so we lost the tarmac road and began a bumpy and at times hair-raising ascent, with a sheer cliff on one side and a sheer drop on the other. I was sat towards the back of the minibus looking down at the river far below and couldn't see the dip in the track that we were approaching. Suddenly, the bus tilted towards the edge and my heart leapt in my mouth. But of course it was fine, and all that happened was that my pulse quickened and a sheepish look crossed my face. Soon we stopped for a birding break and fortuitously saw a pair of torrent ducks below us, perched on a rock in the tumbling water. There was also crag chilia, a bird thoroughly at home here in this inhospitable environment, searching for insects and seeds in the rocky crevices. The scenery had been fantastic all the way, but was particularly spectacular when we reached the dam itself. Here we were at 8,500 feet elevation, and the air was clear and cool. At the far end of the reservoir there were damp meadows and streams, and here we found the bird species we all wanted to see, the stunning diademed sandpiper plover. We continued in a large loop to end up at the far side of the valley, seeing birds along the way, the best of which was grey-breasted seed snipe, a small wading bird that has actually adapted to a herbivorous diet. It was here beneath a clear blue sky, surrounded by wonderful scenery, that we took our lunch. A moment to savour. We then began a leisurely return journey with stops along the way, notable among which was our first, if distant, sighting of an Andean condor. These are huge birds with a wingspan of around 11 feet. Like other vulture species, they feed on carcasses and carrion, and they nest on inaccessible rocky crags at up to 16,000 feet. The condor is a national symbol of many South American countries, including Chile. Luckily, we were to get further and better views as the day progressed. After Enrique had returned the borrowed items, our driver, Michelangelo, yes, that was his real name, raced us back to our hotel in time for an early evening meal. For tomorrow, we were moving on.